Insights of All Trades podcast.
Doing your own web series right now, Cobblestoned. Had a previous one, Half Bath. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I like to do. For Half Bath, I spent all of my own money on it, which wasn't a lot. I think in total I spent about $3,000, and I had saved up over the year.
Sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah. I mean, for a web series though, it's not. That's the thing. It's like, a lot of these films, even just like people who raise money on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever, they're trying to raise $15,000, $25,000 to make a 10-minute movie. It's like, if you really want it to have that sort of production quality, it costs a lot. And so I wanted my web series to have a sort of production quality because I hadn't really made anything of any sort of value yet. I just had been making a lot of short films and stuff. And so I saved up for the year and did that. Just blew all of my money on this web series. Mostly just spent it on food and props. But yeah, so it was a really great experience. We shot for 9 days in August of 2017. It was kind of a miserable shoot because it was super hot, and we had 9 days just wasn't enough for a 35 to 40 minute web series. Mm-hmm. But we made it work, and it was really fun. I learned a lot. That's where I really got to kind of get myself in the indie film community through that. I got to meet a lot of people.
Okay.
And develop those relationships.
How did you meet people through that? Based actors, actresses, or more on the director and producer side?
Yeah,
of things?
both. I mean, so my producing partner on that and Cobblestoned, my friend Eric Rigby, he really got me introduced to a lot of the Point Park students, which is like our little local film school here. And he had worked on a bunch of their student films as an actor and developed those relationships that way. And so when he was helping me produce Half Bath, he got me in touch with a lot of them. And then just from that, meeting Dan Kushner, who you listen to on the podcast about moving to LA, through meeting him, he got me hooked up with some other folks that now I work with a lot more. And it just kind of, you build your network that way.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So did you meet anybody through these other gigs, like your paying gigs, like the Netflix series and the short films that you've recruited for your own projects?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so pretty much everyone at all of my peers on like Mindhunter or whatnot, we're all kind of in the same boat. We're working on these big Hollywood shows because they pay well, but everyone wants to do their own thing. And so you kind of meet the people who have the same goals as you do and try to do things outside of work. But it can be really tough because, on those shows you work 12-hour days, 60 plus hours a week. Like it takes up most of your time.
Mm-hmm. So I know you have a full podcast on basically the Pittsburgh film community. But could you just touch on that a little bit and talk about it? And also how do you think that compares to other cities that aren't LA or maybe like New York City?
So I don't know what it's like compared to other cities. Pittsburgh's really the only city that I've kind of been involved in the film community at all. But the big thing that we touch on our podcast and what Dashing Agent is trying to do as a brand is kind of bring together the community. Because right now I think the big problem that Pittsburgh's indie film community has is that we're kind of scattered all over the place. There are a lot of like little pockets of film scenes going on. Like there's the guys who just do horror films, or the people who just do the 48-hour film festival. There are people who just do student films. It's like, I don't know. What we need though is we need some unifying goal, I think, and to bring all of these different scenes together to be like a stronger indie film scene. And that's really hard to do. And I don't know if anyone knows how to do it, but we're working on that right now. It's kind of the big thing. But it's a thriving community. People are making a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. It's a matter of getting the right eyes on those projects. That's pretty challenging.
How do you go about advertising and getting people to see these sorts of things?
I don't know, man. That's another thing that the Dashing Agent's I'm trying to do with it, because for the first 10 years of my filmmaking career, if you want to call it that, I didn't do any marketing. I was just like, here, I made this thing, like, please watch it. And, my mom would, but that's about it.
I mean, we're kind of in the same boat. I always feel weird plugging it all over social media and things like that, even though it's like, you know, here's free content, like just check it out if you want to. But I always still feel just like, I don't want to say like dirty, but just like weird, like, hey, everybody come watch my thing.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm trying to get over as well. I mean, I don't like to do that personally, like on my personal Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
But it's like you almost have to, at least starting out, because you maybe have like 25 likes on your Facebook page or something when you're starting. And it's like, if you can just share it with your personal account, there's like a couple hundred friends or something.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, go ahead.
I don't know. I was just saying, I think you have to just kind of just like muscle through that and just realize that most people, even if they think you're annoying for posting too much, it's like, well, they're either going to watch it or they're not. They're not going to be like thinking about it all the time, and like it's not really going to bother anybody, you know?
Yeah, if there's an algorithm to it, we'd love to know it, because here's our not so phenomenal algorithm is to go through the people that follow our personal accounts that we're mostly friends with, all of them, and just follow until you're restricted from following. You're like, all right, guess we can't plug our podcast anymore. Or maybe we have looked into, you know, those promotions pop up. It's like, get this many amount of people to view your post.
We got like a free, Facebook was like, here, try a free $15 like promotion thing. And we did it. And it was like, we got maybe like 20% more views or something on the thing. So it was like, it worked, but is it really worth like paying the money to promote something at this stage of the game anyways?
Yeah. I mean, it can be good. Facebook and Instagram's, you know, what is it called? They're like native reach is pretty solid. Like if you do put $5 to promote or boost a Facebook post or whatever, like, you know, all 200 of your fans on Facebook will see it as opposed to 50 of them like Facebook usually does, which is kind of annoying. Like you just have to put that amount of money in if you want to reach, you know, the potential that you actually can.
I guess in your case, in the grand scheme of things, like $5 for a Facebook promotion is not too much when you said you had like a pretty, like $3,000 or something for your show. So maybe, I guess that would factor in differently than for us.
Yeah, well, like with Cobblestone, we spend no money. That's the big thing. Because I spent so much money on Half Bath and I didn't see the return that I wanted, that's what how Cobblestone kind of came about, is that we were like, well, we're both working a lot. We don't have money. Let's just try to make something as DIY as possible that's still of some sort of good quality, you know? And so, we haven't marketed Cobblestone really at all. We did, I've boosted 1 or 2 posts on the Facebook page, but that's really it. But we're kind of waiting for that to finish the project, have the whole series be done, and then we'll put some actual money into it. And that will be effectively our entire Cobblestone budget, is just trying to market it. So,
okay, nice. Yeah,
but we will have to spend some like actual money, you know. But I don't want to spend too much. Like I'm not looking to spend $500 on marketing.
Right.
Yeah. One of all things, just throwing money at big social media companies.
Yeah.
It also depends. Like if it's your goal to grow your career through, you know, essentially what those social media posts are promoting, it does make sense. But speaking for Nick and I, it's like a hobby. And it's like, do I really want to keep pitching money?
Yeah, it's like it'd be cool if more people listened, but I guess, it's like, at what point do you just like accept that we have a core like group of 40, 50 people, and it's probably not
40 or 50. Wow. Y'all are rolling in it. I've got like 6 people listening to my podcast.
But I saw your YouTube subscriber thing. You have almost 700 subscribers.
On my that's on my channel that I've been on since I was 10 years old.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not that impressive when you put the time into.
But still, that's cool. If you post something, that'll be 600 some people that get notified at least.
Yeah, and that's why I put Half Bath and Cobblestone on my personal YouTube channel as opposed to Dashing Agent. And like on Dashing Agent right now, we've got a few little videos, like some vlogs and goofy things that we make, and that's kind of our real marketing strategy, is just content marketing, just making things that people hopefully find enjoyable, and then, you know, we'll come back to watch more, or expect that Cobblestone, like our you know, real product, will actually be good and not just some garbagey fluff.